She slammed her SUV onto the dirt road and screamed into her phone. "Send the cops now. He's blocking HOA land." Gravel popped under her tires as she pointed at me like I was a thief. My kid was in the truck beside me, quiet, watching her mouth move fast. She slapped a bright notice on my windshield and said, "This road is mine now. You touch it, you're done." I didn't argue. I just stepped aside and let her drive past, straight over the old hunting gate. The metal bent. The chain snapped. She smiled like she won a war. Then she leaned out the window and said the line she shouldn't have said. "Tow his truck, too. Teach him who owns this place." I looked at the broken gate, then at the small sign she crushed under her tire. "Private road, county recorded." I picked it up, dusted it off, and said calmly, "You just crossed the wrong line." She laughed. The siren started in the distance, and that's when I unlocked my phone and started recording. The sirens got louder, and Karen's smile grew wider. She crossed her arms like she already won. 2 patrol cars rolled in, lights flashing, dust hanging in the air. She rushed to them, talking fast, pointing at me, at my truck, at the gate. "He threatened me. He blocked HOA access. He damaged property," she said. One officer walked toward me and asked for my ID. I handed it over without a word. Karen smirked and whispered loud enough for my kid to hear, "Say goodbye to your truck." Then the tow truck showed up. Way too fast. Like it was already waiting. They hooked my truck while my kid stood there confused, asking, "Dad, are we in trouble?" That hit harder than anything. I stayed calm and told him to sit tight. Karen pulled out her phone and started recording me, saying, "This is what happens when you don't respect authority." I asked one simple question to the officer. "Can you tell me who called this road HOA land?" He looked at the broken gate, then at the crushed sign in my hand. His face changed just a little. I zoomed my camera on Karen and said quietly, "You might want to stop smiling." The officer asked Karen for the HOA map she kept waving around. She froze for half a second, then laughed and said, "I'll email it." The officer nodded but didn't smile. He walked back to his car while the tow driver kept tightening the chains. I stepped closer and said, "That road isn't HOA. It never was." Karen snapped back, "Everyone knows it is." I opened my phone and played a short clip. Her SUV, clearly driving past the old boundary marker, tires tearing into the dirt. My posted sign bending under her bumper. No sound, just proof. The officer watched it twice. Then he asked me something Karen didn't expect. "Sir, why do you have cameras out here?" I looked at Karen and said, "Because people keep trespassing." Her face tightened. She jumped in again, loud and sharp. "He's lying! Arrest him!" The officer didn't move. Instead, he asked me to unlock my glove box. Inside was a folded paper worn at the edges. I didn't say what it was yet. I just handed it over. Karen leaned in to see it, and her voice dropped. The officer unfolded the paper slowly. Karen tried to laugh it off, but it came out shaky. "That's fake," she said. "He probably printed it at home." The officer didn't answer her. He looked at the seal, then at the date. His tone changed. "This is a county easement record," he said. Karen snapped. "No, it's not. The HOA owns everything past the gate." I shook my head. "That gate was put there last year, without permission." The tow driver stopped moving and wiped his hands on his jeans. The officer asked me one more thing, calm but firm. "Sir, are you the one who reported threats on this road last month?" Karen's eyes went wide. I hadn't said a word about that yet. I nodded once. "Yes, same road. Same SUV." Karen jumped back like she'd been hit. "That was nothing. Just a warning." The officer looked straight at her and said, "Threatening a landowner on a recorded easement isn't nothing." Then his radio cracked. A second unit was on the way. And this time, Karen wasn't smiling anymore. The second cruiser rolled in slow, tires crunching the gravel Karen said she owned. The new officer stepped out, older, calm, eyes sharp. He didn't look at me first. He looked at the road. The trees, the locked steel posts I had set that morning. Karen rushed to him. "Officer, thank God. He blocked an HOA access road. He's armed. He hunts out here." The officer glanced at my orange vest and the rifle case locked in my truck bed. "Is he threatening anyone?" Karen hesitated. "Well, no, but he shouldn't even be here." The officer turned to me. "You mind if I ask why you secured the road?" I pulled my phone out and hit play. Her SUV from last week, tearing through the mud. Her voice yelling, "Move or I'll run it over!" My kid's voice in the background saying, "Dad!" The sound went quiet when the clip ended. Karen whispered, "That was private property." The older officer nodded slowly. "Yes," he said. "It was." Then he looked at her. "Just not yours." The tow driver stepped back again. And for the first time, Karen realized the road wasn't closing on me. It was closing on her. Karen's face went stiff. She laughed, sharp and fake. "That video proves nothing," she said. "The HOA owns this land. I approved that access myself." She pulled out a folded paper and waved it like a badge. The officer didn't even take it. He asked me one quiet question instead. "How long you had this property?" I said, "Since before the HOA existed." That made him pause. I reached into my glove box and handed him a weathered map. Edges torn, stamp faded but clear. County seal. Date older than the houses behind us. Karen leaned in, squinting. "That's fake," she snapped. The officer turned the map toward her. "Ma'am, this road is listed as a private hunting access. No HOA rights. No easement." Her voice cracked. "That's impossible." Right then, a pickup rolled in behind us. Two men stepped out wearing orange vests like mine. One smiled at me. "Sheriff said we might need to be witnesses." Karen looked around, suddenly small, surrounded by people she thought didn't matter. I locked the steel post behind her SUV with a clean click, and I said the line she'd been using on everyone else. "Relax, it's just for a minute." Karen started yelling again, louder this time, saying everyone was setting her up. The older officer raised a hand and she stopped mid-sentence. He asked her one last thing. "Who gave you the right to control this road?" She named an HOA board member. He nodded and spoke into his radio. 10 minutes later, a county truck pulled in. Then another. The sheriff stepped out, looked at me, and smiled like this wasn't his first long day. He listened. He watched the video. He checked the map. Then he turned to Karen and said, "You trespassed. You threatened a child. You used fake authority." Her phone slipped from her hand. The cuffs clicked soft, not loud. But everyone heard it. The tow driver unhooked my truck and drove away without a word. The steel posts stayed. The sheriff shook my hand and said, "Road stays closed. Permanently." That night, we grilled by the trees. My kid rode his bike on the same road Karen tried to take. No cars, no shouting. Just quiet. And I thought one thing as the sun went down. Some people think power is loud. Real power just locks the gate and walks away.